seen those. So is everything good?
Yeah, we're good now, I think. I'll check on it halfway through the night.
That makes so much more sense.
Donna. So you figured because we're training her sitting there, she's talking. She's remember that trailer that was recorded. Sitting in saying that's not really her. And she said so okay. I knew I would do that. I spilled my whole son. Oh man, I think you could.
Hello. How are you? This is the wind discarded. I didn't have it. I didn't either. Right? Because I you know, I'm right.
Thank you. Where did this come from?
She told us to bring it to you.
Who's?
And the Randy just brought you?
Oh, this is for me to do my notes. Okay, it's for my notes.
Somewhere in the shop, on a shelf somewhere. And you know that he was going to
6 o'clock? 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock?
maybe they come.
No. Cooper? You ate them all? Oh.
I didn't eat them all.
I had short, oh, really? So I called him. You know that? No, I'm good. I fixed that. I can do it.
You got it turned on, Miss Lana?
Yeah, we had videos.
Okay, it's time for the property owners to speak. Do you have anything to talk about? Does anyone have discussion on anything?
Nobody has any questions or comments or concerns?
I'm holding my hand up.
Oh,
Katie, if you'll say your name, so.
I'm Katie, live over up Indian Head. Did we get an answer from the municipal league about people volunteering on SID equipment for SID tasks and everything?
Yes, and everybody that we have is, that everything's insured. They have their own lawyers, we had them double check with their lawyers, so we have to use our own lawyers to take care of it.
Okay.
So, they've got all information on files, all their license, everything's done, they printed it, everything for us.
Okay, so they
So
have something
everything
that, so
is in
everything's covered, whether it's just the equipment or that he hit someone or, okay,
Everything
cool.
is covered. Yes, and we had that all double checked with their lawyers. Because I know that was a big concern.
Right. I guess if no one else, I've got some more questions. I
Okay.
just don't want to bogart time, you know? I don't know if Marcia's gonna be here tonight or not, but I was wondering if the office was aware that the issues that come with blind copying emails, that a lot of different platforms will knock it straight to spam folder, like to your spam folder. So some people aren't getting some of the emails.
Susie, can you answer?
If she's here as a resident, I'm asking the board.
I don't know
No, she's
anything about
asking
the
you.
emails.
Okay.
I'm not up there doing it.
Could we pass that question along to Marcia? And I guess,
is there an option, you and I have talked about this a lot, Katie, because you and I have been kind of on the same page with, it's really hard to make a connection with residents if we don't have access to their emails, if they don't have access to our emails, if everything has to go through the office, and the office is only there Tuesday, Friday, Thursday, Friday, from 9 until 2.
right,
So a good example, we had a tree down over here on, in this last storm. That tree went down either on a Friday night or a Saturday. So how is that resident supposed to contact the office? I mean, you're supposed to email that into the office that we have a tree down somewhere, but then no one responds to that email until Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. And so we've talked about different ways to try to get better communication with residents. And I don't know if it was, excuse me, if it was you or if it was my son, but there's different programs that we could utilize as third-party programs. Is that something?
To combat some of these issues like with this, with the blind copying, you put more then depending on the platform, whether it's Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail, or even go all the way back to whatever CenturyTel, if you have so many people in a blind copy and you put an attachment on, that they automatically see that as spyware, virus, they throw it as spam so you can't see it. If some people don't know to put Ozark Acres email in, to combat that, there is a platform. It's MailChimp. You can do email blasts.
But you're not talking about all of the commissioners having full access to all of the office.
No, I don't want to see anything that's coming to the office. I do want to see everything that is supposed to come to me. Okay? So if it's a lake concern, I want to make sure that I'm able to see that. And I would like to be able to communicate, like if we have a weather event coming up, or if we have something that is happening on a day that's not Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday from 9 to 2.
And you can open up your own email.
No, what she's talking about, and I am talking with my son about this pretty extensively. And we can utilize a free platform that protects the residents' privacy still, because that's why we do the blind copying, is so that we don't all see everyone's, but everybody can't see everyone's email addresses.
Right.
All right? You're not getting an email that's got 150 emails at the top of it before you ever even get to the message. Okay? There's companies or platforms that you can use that protect their privacy, but don't require us to blind copy everyone and send it out that way, and that keeps it from going into spam folders.
Is everybody here that gets emails, are they all going to your spam folders? Like, when you get your agenda every month and any kind of events, and we put them as a little PDF file or some other file, you're getting them all? Are they, anybody else going into spam?
It started going into spam when I was a commissioner.
Yeah, because I get every single one of mine.
I get anyone that you send out with regular writing in it, I get that in my regular email, but if you have sent it out with an attachment, like she said, that email goes into my spam. Even though it's coming from the exact same address. This is why I've asked my son who writes these programs if he can help me explain that, and he's pretty much said the same thing. It all depends on the platform that I have my email coming into. What its algorithm is or what its cutoff is to prevent spam. And that is, if there's a bunch of people that are copied all at the same time, it feels like that's kind of like a blast. Okay, it could possibly be spam.
Especially if it comes in with an
or
attachment.
if it comes with an attachment.
But everything that would come to you or to me or even would also go to the office because, right, they need to have a copy of everything.
Well, yeah, it's in their sent folder.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in their sent folder.
Okay, so there are some options.
There are options, and that's the thing, like MailChimp, I used it at the Chamber of Commerce. We had everyone's email in there. It wasn't access to the email that anyone in the Chamber of Commerce emailed. But it was a platform that you could do an email blast that you can guarantee ends up in their inbox.
Okay, the one problem with everybody having everybody's email, some people don't, they want their privacy and not have everybody or people to have their email.
Right, and this platform eliminates that.
Right, you don't
That no one has, like say we put everyone's email on MailChimp. You won't see that it was sent to me, it's gonna go straight to you, just to you. Not blind copy, not anything, it's just gonna be personalized to you. It's just the people that have the internal part of the MailChimp, which is the commissioners, anyone like that, of y'all's end, would have access to it.
Okay, what if they wrote back and asked a question? Like, we had an incident where someone, the property owner asked a question and he was given, incorrect
Database, yeah.
answer. So if, okay, so say, I don't understand that. So say they have a question to you.
If they reply to the email,
Yeah.
it'll be bounced back to the office, but the information, then the initial email is out. After that, then it goes to the responsibility of the office staff to get it, that reply to said division.
So you wouldn't be able to answer it, right?
Yeah, because, yes, I would be able to answer if they had a question on mass email, because they would respond and say, I would like this commissioner to respond to this question. And then Susie would forward that, but that, again, doesn't give me access to anyone's addresses or anything like that. It's all, so it's just something I think that we could look into a little bit. MailChimp is one that he is familiar with, and it has MailChimp, like a monkey, yeah.
And that's just one platform. There could be another one that's completely more suited for us. It's just, that's the one that I have the knowledge with. So,
I think they could look into it.
it would at least just help eliminate some of the issues that we could potentially run into. That could be why not as many people come, because some people may not be getting the agendas or the reminders, you know.
Now, to send it out, what if you got something to say on a Friday night that you need to get out? Would you be able to send it out from your?
Yeah, we can do all that.
As long as you guys open it to where all of you guys have the username and password, you guys can access it whenever you needed it. And that's a very handy tool, especially because limited hours at the office.
And you can subdivide it too, right? You can make it like if you are a Lake resident and it was you know.
I'm not sure on MailChimp. I don't know. We just went the members of the chamber, but that'd be something that I would think they would be able to, or something similar.
People getting their
No,
email
no,
address.
everything, everybody's copy of everything.
Yeah, that's not,
Yeah.
there shouldn't be a
Yeah.
concern. You can opt out.
You just put the office in as an email address. So the office's email address
Collected that.
they send
Plus they have another-
a recipient email
Yeah,
address.
it's, you know, if we do another, send it to another mail service, and send it out to people I have to collect
Yeah.
one time. say, hey,
No,
sign
with
up.
automatic,
Yes, right.
we just automatically put
Right.
those are acres code in there, as you are also, they would also get copies.
We'll check into that. Does anyone else have anything to discuss?
Or add to it?
John? Hi, John.
I'm not even an email kind of person, but like if you're all sharing that, what happens when you're no longer a commissioner in the password?
Quite easy to go in and change the password.
Yeah.
I'm not an email person.
Yeah, it's really simple.
No road questions? Why should we pick the road?
Right? I know, and there always have been before, right? Yeah, very quiet.
Just wait.
Well, now's your time.
All right, John, speak up.
Is it time for questions? Oh, okay. Lake Commissioner.
What's your name, please?
Oh, my name's Jeremy Harris. I'm at 102 Summit Ridge Lane. These are my neighbors. Is the lake safe?
Good question.
The lake has high levels of bacteria right now, coliform bacteria. I actually did not plan on doing a bacterial test on the lake. I was looking for an environmental package of testing because that hasn't been done as far as I can find on record. So that is what I had originally tried to do in March. And I sent the water samples in. I had the county extension. Cody Stroud came out with me. We went and collected samples. We sent them into where all water sample tests go to be tested, which is at Arkansas Water Resources Commission in Fayetteville, Arkansas. They called me the next day when they received the test samples and they said, you didn't send us enough water for that test. And I said, what did I send you enough water for? They said, you could do your bacteria levels with what we got. I said, go for it, do it. Okay. They sent me back a report on Good Friday at 3:30 in the afternoon that, according to the chart, showed that it was not really a great idea for us to be swimming or ingesting or coming in contact with our lake water. Now, I don't know why, but Arkansas seems to think that it's okay to have 126 parts per whatever of human fecal bacteria in your water, and it's still okay.
So the guy
That's
that,
kind of outside of my scope. I've always thought that E. coli needs to be at a 0 or very, very low number. I reached out immediately to a couple of different people, and because it was Good Friday at 3:30 in the afternoon, guess what I got back? Crickets. Okay. So, I also knew we were going into a holiday weekend, and our temperatures were going to be rising very quickly that weekend. I have enough science background to know that that's not a good mix, and that those bacterial levels can rise very rapidly. So I chose to inform everyone that our bacterial levels were high and that it wasn't recommended to make water contact with our lake. Because I had reached out on that Friday to the people who had done the test and the people who had given me the test results, when they reached back out to me, they sent me an email to my personal email address, another reason we have a problem with emails here, and they copied the office because I had requested that they would copy the office, because that's the way we're supposed to do it. The office then chose to take that email that was addressed to me and send it out to all of you without any explanation or any context. They just sent it out to all of you, okay? If I would have seen that information prior to them doing that, I would have tried to give you more information and give you better context. Which is, yes, I am correct that those levels were going to go up substantially as the temperature went up. That our E. coli, according to our state, is okay to be at 126 parts. And we were at, I believe, 63 in Spring Lake. What Jonathan Gibson and I remember that the Department of Health only deals with E. coli. They don't even look at all the other coli bacteria, which are not really healthy for us to be ingesting or coming in contact with. Those were our very, very high levels. That is your fertilizer runoff, that is your cow manure, that is your septic tanks, that is your, pet waste, okay? Those levels were already astronomically high. When they were first tested, it would be like getting in your swimming pool after 1,500 people had wiped their butt and thrown their toilet paper in there with you. In my opinion, that gave me a reason to post signs telling people that our bacterial loads in our lake were high. Okay? The beach is not open yet. I'm not allowed to open the beach without having a vote on it here at the table, from what I've been told. So, no harm, no foul, in my opinion. Is our lake safe? I think that's a matter of personal opinion. I cannot afford to
there's got to
have
be some guidelines.
repeat testing done. It costs me $30 every time I overnight it to Fayetteville.
Is there a way to be tested ourselves, like a kit?
No, the Department of Health will be coming out. From what was said on Facebook, and by the way, I'm not active on Facebook, on any of the groups that talk about Ozark Acres. I've been blocked on most of them. So I don't see what's on there, and I can't respond, and it's actually made my life so much nicer since that happened. But so I don't know what people are talking about. I do know that somebody brought to my attention that someone said that there was a resident that had a pipe that was feeding directly into the lake. The Department of Health has been made aware of that address and will be conducting an investigation at that address. The Department of Health has also been informed of several other addresses that are questionable with proper septic use and they will be coming out to those addresses and conducting an investigation. I don't have the authority to do that, none of us have that authority to do that, Department of Health does. And so as that unfolds, I will make sure I keep you all informed.
Did Jonathan say how, because he's done this test before, right? Do they have a certain, like you said, is there a guideline at a certain level?
Yeah, the state of Arkansas guideline for E. coli in the water, and it's still safe to swim, they consider that to be 125 parts. We were at 63 at the time, which would have doubled very easily as we got on.
I think there's nothing wrong with testing the water in the lake. In fact, I think that's the right thing to do. I don't want anybody getting hurt or sick. I don't want kids or animals getting, or, you know, old people getting sick.
I don't drink water.
So there's nothing wrong with what you did. I think it's fantastic. I mean, in years past, in 20 years I've been here, we've closed the beaches before because of bacteria. So there's got to be a guideline or some standard that we need to establish to do that for the safety of all people to live here.
Right.
And because it is going to change. It goes up and down over the course of the year. So
The only thing that we are scheduled for is that the Department of Health will come out 3 to 4 weeks before every major summer holiday. So they will be out here in the next couple of weeks to give me the all clear to open the beach and for Memorial Day weekend. They will come back out 3 to 4 weeks before 4th of July, and they will come back out 3 to 4 weeks before Labor Day.
okay.
Those tests are done at no cost to us because it's the Department of Health's responsibility.
That's what I want to find out.
Right.
So okay, good deal. Thank you.
Where were the samples taken?
We took samples from 3 different places in Lake Vagabond and 3 different places in Spring Lake.
Okay. On Vagabond, where were they located? Samples?
One was at Rocky Point. I took some here at the clubhouse. I took some at the beach.
See, the beach is basically a petri dish. It's in the sun all the time, it's shallow water, it's got a sand bottom, and it just sits in there cooked. So it's always gonna be higher there than like out in the center of the lake.
Well, what-
or over on
Where
the
we
north
swim.
side.
So,
I know, yeah, I know, but I mean, that's like a worse, the best place
but
to check it, but it's the worst place.
you mix those samples together. There's a very cut and dried way that you collect samples for these tests to be run. So all of those samples are then mixed together as a representation of Lake Vagabond, and same thing with Spring Lake. They were taken from 2 different ends and in the middle, basically, and those water samples are mixed together and sent in as a single sample.
I will say this, the Department of Health, or Health Department, comes out every year in May. And Susie, do you know the other month that they come out?
Oh, yeah, I think it was like how Chrisellen was saying, somewhere in May, somewhere in either early September or late August, and then another one. They do it 3 times a year, and they send us a report. They take care of it.
They don't charge us.
They don't charge, they just go out, they know where to go, and they send us the report.
Is that who we can contact to get records?
Yeah, they send them to
all
us.
those records.
We have them.
We have all those records of all E. coli water testing done at Lake Vagabond Beach. That's the only place that they are required to test it because it's a public swim beach.
Well, the
We
way
do
I
have all
read,
those.
the way I read the report that they sent back, there was no problem in people going in there.
Mm-hmm,
Unless
right.
it was up to 120.
Yeah, they got a spectrum as long as it's in that, but they'll close them down, they close the river down with flowing water at times in the summer, so.
Right, again, we were talking, what I asked Jonathan about on the phone, that he was responding to me where to find more additional information in that email. That was his link to me for my benefit to look up more information. That really was not something that should have been sent to you guys in that context. It would have been better if could have been explained a little bit better.
We just learned that no
Okay.
good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah, we have learned that repeatedly.
Does anyone else have questions or suggestions or anything? Are you ready to tell us what you're going to say?
Who, me? Oh, John.
What am I saying?
I thought you had something you wanted.
No, I just assumed you'd have a lot to say here tonight, but. What? I don't know.
What's going on with the lawsuits? Are we done?
Oh, Deb was here, she would be able to
I
help
mean,
with that.
the
but-
judge issued another order clarifying the first order. So, I know that, I think you are being sued by some other people as well for some reason. Are we just gonna believe?
Yeah, we are, we're just gonna bleed dry, is what we're gonna end up doing.
Until they get what they want? I mean, is there a plan that's happening with?
If you
Well,
have keys to the building, you can just lock
I
the
had
door.
asked for that to be on our agenda for tonight, but it wasn't approved by the office manager, so that it's not on, it's not on here. That was one of the first questions I had, was what is the status? So, we know as much as you know, I guess, Jerry. Devin said she was going to provide us with a rundown of like a final thing. I thought the last time we were here, she had said that she was gonna look for clarification. But she hasn't posted anything or sent anything out, so I'm not sure where we sit.
Is the SID gonna do that on your side, since you're a party to the lawsuit? With your attorneys? Since you're part of the settlement?
I didn't vote for the settlement, I was the only one that didn't vote. Of course, Della wasn't here at the time as a commissioner.
What does that mean?
Well, there were 3 others that voted to go ahead with the settlement. I didn't vote.
But a majority voted for the settlement? Okay. I'm just wondering what the settlement is exactly, just as a SID.
The person that can answer that isn't here right now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Anybody else?
Well, one of the things that we had set up the top up here, it says 6 to 6:10 for community clubs update. If you guys are doing things in the community, if we have a fishing club, I would love for you guys to have somebody come to the meetings and give us an update on what's the fishing club doing. What are they finding, what are they catching, what are they doing, what are their activities, what are their plans. We have the women's club, who obviously do a ton of things in the community, but they're never given a chance to actually speak or talk about what they're doing or how we can help them or what they want to promote. And so I would really like it for a part of our meeting to be them being able to have some time to promote what they're doing. And if we get other committees or volunteer groups or clubs or whatever you want to call them, I think that it would be beneficial to everyone if they all have an opportunity to speak at meetings where it's on the record and where people that are watching the video can see it, might not see it on a sign driving by, might not be able to read it like me.
I can answer that. Well, for the women's clubs where they do the Christmas breakfast with Santa, they do the Easter.
Oh no, I know what they do on a
Kids
regular
breakfast,
basis.
yeah.
I mean, like every month, if they would like to have 5 or 10 minutes to say what they're doing this month, what has, what they need help with, what they could use support with, whatever.
What do y'all,
Basically, we try to raise money to do these breakfasts and things for the kids. The next one coming up, we just finished Easter, the next one's coming up 4th of July. And we always like to have the activities for the kids, and the Santa Claus, and get little gifts, and just, and we do this dinner here once a month. Doesn't get much, but, it's just trying to do something for them.
Add to the money so that we can purchase things.
Well, we are having a community yard sale in June, aren't we?
There you go.
There you go, so this is exactly what I mean.
That's
June 22nd, you can buy a booth or whatever at the SID office, or if you wanted to have it at your house, you can let her know that, and it'll be on a list of paper. For everybody that comes to the yard sale, they can go to other people's houses if they want to also.
Okay, And you said June 22nd?
Isn't that
No,
correct?
it's not June 22nd.
Oh.
Sorry.
I have to look at my calendar. Offhand, I'm doing this live, so I can't look right now.
Okay, well,
It's in June.
It's in June.
Okay, I'm not positive of the date. Oh, that's something coming up.
That's in mine. It's not, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we just need a feedback on that, and then you're still doing the a dinner before every meeting, right?
Right,
Okay,
Taco Tuesday,
okay.
Do you know what next month's?
Taco Tuesday.
It's just
Yeah, we're
Taco.
just sticking with tacos for now because it was.
That was the
best.
easiest
Yeah.
to work. Perfect.
We got that one down.
And we had a lot of feedback from people.
Cool. I like that
Saying
one.
they were happy with that selection.
Also, I do have a question though on the Earth Day.
Yeah.
Are you, do you just show up? Are you looking for this? You volunteer or what?
Yeah, we can talk about that right now, and then I want to talk about it on my report.
Oh, okay, well,
Perfect. You're good. This Saturday from 8 until noon here at the clubhouse, we are doing an Eat, Pray, Cleanup Day. I signed us up for, I originally had signed us up to go out and try to clean the lakes. But with the status of the lakes right now, I decided, oh yeah, let's not do that. We'll go a different direction. So we'll have coffee here at 8 o'clock. We'll have supplies here, trash bags, gloves. I do not have any pokey sticks or grabbers. If you have those and you want to participate, by all means, bring those with you. That would be fabulous, fantastic. From 8 until 10:30, you can choose your little corner of Ozark Acres that you would like to go and clean up. Okay, if you want to do it down here, if you want to go do your own road, if you have a pet peeve or wherever that you'd like to pick up, you can do that. When you come back here at 10:30, where you have prizes, we have awards, we have activities for the kids. If people have children, they can leave them here, they will be supervised, and we have activities for them to do that are Earth Day related. While the adults go out and do pick up and clean up. Lauren Siebert had requested and had talked about on Facebook having a day of prayer, and so she said, can I kind of like piggyback? So we will be having a prayer meeting if you would like to participate in that. We also have several raffles. We have Branson show tickets that we'll be raffling off. We have, you're gonna love this one. We have a live lamb or goat kid, baby, one, that is going to be raffled off. We have we have gift baskets, we have cupcakes, we have a bunch of really fun, cool stuff. And the raffle is going to be a little bit different in.
Okay, my question is about the billy goat or with lamb. I know we're not a city, but can we just have one of those on our property no matter where we are?
You eat them.
Yeah, I can't answer that. And Lana is telling me I have to stop talking because we have to start the meeting.
Well, if you can't have horses, you can have goats, right?
Yeah,
I'll go into this a little bit more in my report. How about that? Okay.
Bernadine, and then we need to start the meeting. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, a few years ago, we actually did make some of the pokey sticks.
And there's 2 in the office. That's
Okay,
what
I was
I
gonna
have
say,
left.
so that's
Yeah.
all that's left?
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
I'll bring those down, but I don't
Well, that's where
have
I was wondering, because I was just gonna say, if you hadn't found them, maybe someone could.
it. Okay.
One other question, when we come at 8, and you said we can clean our own little neck of the woods if we want, so you're gonna list all these necks of the woods that are getting done, so that we know at 10:30 what else has to be done, so that everything is covered, or?
Well, I'll talk about it a little bit more in my report.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
We got
Let's
it.
go.
Okay, the meeting for the Ozark Acres is now open. Gary, would you mind to do the prayer?
Our Lord in heaven, we thank you tonight for the beauty of the season. We thank you for the flowers and the leaves and the trees. We appreciate all the people that have come here to this community meeting tonight, Lord, because we all have one thing in mind, the betterment of our area. We pray that we all work together for the good of the whole. We always give you the blessing. In Jesus' name, amen.
Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brandon,
Lang,
Herbie. We have a motion to adjourn the meeting by what time?
Kendall.
Seven.
So is it motion? I second it.
All in favor?
What time, 7:15?
Yep.
Okay, we don't have a deputy report. We need to approve the minutes from February 21st meeting and approve minutes from special meeting March 29th. Who wants to read the February 21st? That's right.
Do we have a copy of the approved budget from the emergency meeting on March 29th?
This is it.
No, that's not an approved budget, that's a P&L statement.
Oh, I guess we can.
Not here tonight, I don't think. It was last one.
Do we have a motion to approve the meetings of February 21st?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as recorded for February 21st, 2023.
All in favor? Della, do you want to read the unapproved minutes for March 20th?
Did Della second?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
So, just read the vote down,
Yeah,
John, minutes.
that's right.
So we don't read it?
Did you just find the-
No, I don't have much time. He works during the day, so I haven't been able to.
What are we looking over right now, March 29th?
Yep.
Okay.
Approved minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as printed for March 29th, 2023.
Do we have a second? Della, second. All in favor?
And I make a request that we were able to pick these up on Friday so that we can actually look them over before the meeting on Tuesday.
Susie, what time do y'all get these ready?
What are we talking about?
The
The
minutes.
unapproved minutes that we're supposed to read.
We used to pick them up on Friday.
We should be able to have them all ready by Friday, yeah.
So that we don't have to sit up here and read them while you guys are all sitting out there.
Did you unanimously approve March 29th? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, new business, number one, discuss the results of the meeting with the engineer, Chris Ellen.
I don't know why that's on the agenda. I didn't request that to be placed on the agenda this month.
Okay, well, pretty well.
It'll be in my report when I get to my chance to my report.
So that's a table?
No, it's not an agenda item. I didn't request it to be placed on the agenda. I don't know why it's there. So,
Oh, did it carry over from last month or maybe? Is that what happened?
no, we didn't have a meeting last month, so.
Okay, well, anyway, you'll do it in your report.
Yep.
Okay, Della, did you want to discuss the campgrounds?
Well, as of right now,
you, it's all about budget. I don't know who did, I don't know. You had requested it back in February. So
Yeah.
again, new business that wasn't really asked to be put on the agenda.
Okay, number 3, Eclipse 2024 Planning Committee, Priscilla, that's you.
Yep. If anybody has paid any attention lately, Eclipse 2024, it's going to be huge. I've said it before. I know you guys are getting tired of me saying it. And pretty much for that reason, I'm letting that ball go. I will advise us to have a way to close off every available opening to our community during that week, because you will have people driving in here looking for a place to park in your yard, in your driveway, up your backyard, okay? Because it's going to happen. We are going to be inundated with people. I had plans and hopes that we could use that to our financial advantage, but we are way behind the 8 ball on this. And so I'm not willing to put the time and the energy into it when I got nothing back. Gary?
We went to a meeting the other day, and they said anticipate more than 100,000 people showing up here that day. 100,000 people in the Harding, Highland, Ash Flat area. So that means 5,000 in this subdivision.
Smells like money.
It does, it did. There are so many opportunities with it. It's incredible, but it's got to happen now. It's got to start now. Robin?
That's why the campgrounds would have been an excellent idea to have that running and going. We'd have made good money.
There's all kinds of places. We could have people park down here and pay us $300 for 2 nights. Okay, and they will do it. Okay? Right now, none of Sharp County has put a moratorium. No one is allowed to book any rooms for that weekend. They have shut it down because they are so inundated already with requests for booking rooms and accommodations for that time frame that they don't even know what to do. Okay, so they have told everyone we're not making any reservations for anything for that week until we can wrap our head around how big this is going to be and how prepared we need to be. But if we're not going to do something to bring the money into our community, then we most assuredly do not want to bring those people and their garbage and their mess and their whatever into our community. If we can make money off of it, arms wide open for my opinion. Okay, but if we can't, we need to literally discuss a way to make it stop at Route 63.
Yeah, that's a great.
Okay?
Campgrounds would have been good, but we need water to do that.
The airstrip, you don't. There's a place in Pocahontas, it's called Truckey's. They have cabins. They have literally bush hogged an entire area next to their place, and they are selling sites, no water provided, no electric provided. You have to book it for 4 nights because everyone's trying to get it. It's on a Monday, of course. So they're trying to get everybody to book Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay? And $500 is what they're charging for a 10 by 20 parking spot for a camper that must be self-contained. They are not, no dumping, no water, and no electric provided, and people are booking $500 for a 10 by 20 foot space. So, anybody wants to come up with some grand plans, give me a call. I'm down to talk Eclipse with you. Okay?
Okay, discuss and vote on date to open beach. Number 4.
Just in case anybody had forgotten, it's April 8th, 2024. It's about 1:38 in the afternoon, and we will be under total eclipse for 4 minutes and 13 seconds. It's one of the longest times of totality in the entire state. But people will literally drive. They will literally follow the eclipse as it goes through the state of Arkansas. They will start in southern Arkansas, and they will drive across the state to like be under the eclipse the whole time. It's kind of it's almost like a religion.
Well, and it's not just people from the state.
Oh,
Like
gosh,
the last
no.
one, there were people from Europe and from Asia that came over to it. It was ridiculous.
And Ryan Vaughn on KAITA, he says that we have really good chances of getting good weather that day.
Well, they'll be mad at him if he's wrong.
Okay, number 4, discuss and vote on date to open the beach and lakes. Priscilla?
Well, I would propose, I have a plumber coming out next week. He came out and got measurements and all the list of all the stuff that he needs to repair the vandalism that was done in the men's bathroom. So he will be back next week to do those repairs, and then I will have bathrooms available at Beach again. So I would like to say that we open the beach on May 20th. We should have all of our testing, water testing results back at that point in time. And,
Except when school's out, you know,
I have no idea.
because there's always a certain time that
Yeah, I have no idea. So I would like to vote, I would like to make a motion that the beach is unlocked on and open for the season on May 20th.
we have a motion.
I think that's Dublin School, is that what it's supposed to be
What
right now?
about, Robin?
Priscilla, that also includes that leak that was in the hose room there at the, you know, the pavilion. There was a leak inside the room where the hoses are kept and stuff. We saw that last year.
We'll check on that one too. Thank you.
Do we have a motion to open the beach?
I did make a motion.
You made a
I
motion?
need somebody to second it.
Second it.
All in favor? Discuss and vote meeting format, is that the agenda? Is that?
I think we do our meetings kind of backwards. If I was able to, if we were able to give our reports at the beginning of our meeting, it would probably cut down on a lot of questions and perhaps even old business and new business. And you guys asking questions at the beginning that we're not really able to answer them or make any, take any action on because we're not in a meeting yet. We're just having conversations and questions. So I would like to ask if we could kind of flip the script on our meeting format for a month or two and see how it works, where we would do our reports, you know, we call the meeting to order, and then we do our reports, which gives everybody the information that they might have questions on, okay? And then do our old business, and then do our new business, and then ask the residents if they have any questions about the meeting that we just had. That way, if they do, and we need to add it to the agenda the next month, it can be added. They can request that at that point in time.
I thought the same thing.
It's what they do. Cherokee Village does it that way. Holiday Village
I
does it
thought the
that
same
way.
thing, but if we're gonna vote on something, then they don't have a chance. The vote's done and over with, they don't have a chance to give their input because they might change our mind. The people might change our mind, and so.
Okay, could we do one at the beginning, you know, question and answer time at the beginning and at the end? Because right now, if they ask for something to be put on the agenda for next month, okay, at the beginning of the meeting, we aren't really required to take that into consideration because we aren't in a meeting yet.
You mean that what they say to us before the meeting, we don't have to take that into consideration? Is that what you said?
We can't take any action on it because we're not in a meeting when we're having that. So if we could do, right, I totally agree, and I'm not saying I don't want resident input, I do, I would like so much more of it, you have no idea. So, but I think that something at the end is important too. Instead of them,
ask
right.
questions of what,
Right.
but they did, I don't mind the aspects, but I do think that they need to speak before, so they can influence it. You know, if there's gonna be something on the agenda, you know, they might have something valid to say that can change our mind on the way we vote, you know.
Okay.
If we do it only after, then it's a done deal, we voted.
Right? I hear where you're coming from.
Katie?
Could you do something like the first 20 minutes is just for items on the agenda, and then afterwards, if it's something else or question or concern that you guys could look in, like if it's something that you have, like what we talked about today, could be at the end of it, but at the beginning, just stick to what's on the agenda and only on the agenda.
Okay.
Well, but there may be something that we want to vote on. I would rather do it like we're doing because they can look at our agenda and say, well, I want to ask them about this, what's going on. And like, once we voted on something, that's it.
Right, that's what I just said though, that anything on the agenda can be talked about before the meeting. And if they have something new to add to or say, can you guys look into this or something, have that after your reports, after.
That makes sense.
Well, that kind of already happens right now. Right now, they can bring up anything that's on the agenda and ask, what does that mean? Can you tell me? And you guys can explain it to them. And then they can say whatever input they want on it. And then you guys later on vote. But at the same time, they say, well, what about this? Can you? And then I've heard Marcia time and time again say, well, we got to look into that then, you know? So
Right,
you're still saying it
okay,
now.
And right there is where I think we kind of run into a situation where we say we'll look into it, but it's not an actual part of our meeting, so it hasn't always gotten looked into. And I can say that from being in those chairs numerous times and doing the, hey, can we talk about this? And it never appearing on here. So
I say it gives a little bit of an accountability of the commissioners because it puts it on the record.
So I guess my biggest point is just the idea of doing our reports prior to doing our old business and new business. Okay, because our reports will influence our new business and old business. So if we could just, can I just request that we try a different meeting? It's all the same stuff's going to be on it. It's just going to be maybe in a different order.
Okay, are you saying to do our reports in front of the old and new
Yes.
things?
Yes. So like we call the meeting to order and we vote on when we're going to adjourn and then we go, okay, can we do all of our reports? And then
they would have time to ask us questions.
they would have already had time before we started the meeting. They would have already had their time. We said we would leave questions before we call the meeting to order. Then when we call the meeting to order, then next we would do our reports. Okay? And then we would do new business and old business. And then at the end, if they had any additional questions, we could do another little 3 minutes.
So they're going to be able to talk like they do now.
Well, right now, they're not supposed to talk ever while
Well, I mean,
in
before
session,
the
so
meeting,
that's
they have
kind of,
their
that's kind of like what I'm
6:30
saying is,
Right,
if we,
right.
we don't follow Robert's rules, we don't have a set way that we follow and do our meetings, okay?
Well, we're supposed to.
I know we're supposed to, but we don't. So, we've been talking about it for 5 months and we still haven't come to an agreement where we've ever all sat down and talked about it.
So we're just switching when they read the minutes, is that what you're trying to say? Do the agenda and then, so when.
No, I think what she's saying is after the folks ask their questions from 6 to 6:30, then when we start the meeting, and then before getting into the old business, you know, do that section up there. You see that section towards the top. And then before you start the old business, go ahead and read each commissioner's report, their own reports. Then go ahead with the old business and then the new business, is what she's trying to say.
And then when are they supposed to talk about it?
We can ask if there's any additional questions, or we can choose not to do that. I didn't know this was going to be so difficult to ask to try for 2 months.
Do you have one?
I understand what you're saying, is that.
You want one?
Give a report, they can ask
What?
questions.
Agenda?
No. It's, our reports will oftentimes answer questions that they haven't asked, that aren't on the agenda. Because I don't put everything that's on my report in the agenda because we don't need to discuss it all. It's my report. But my report could make some of them have questions about what I'm doing with the lakes or what you're doing with the roads or what Lana's doing with the fire department. So,
But then you have to distinguish on days we're gonna vote on something or not gonna vote on something. whether it's.
If we're gonna vote on it, it's in the agenda. If I'm just talking about it, it's in my report. It's already separated.
Okay, so but we're still gonna have to speak it before, so what's changing? That's it.
Absolutely nothing's changing.
I'm just saying.
Never mind,
it's gonna step-
never mind.
Okay, so
I-
let's
I
go,
don't know why.
let's go to number 6.
Lana,
Well, we need to vote
on what?
on number 5, discuss and vote meeting format, if we're going to do it or not.
There's no motion.
There's no motion, we're not voting on anything. There's no motion.
Bill, do you want to make a motion?
I am not really confident whether we're talking after, if they're talking after, before. I think that they should have say it before we do. That's all I thought, that's right.
So they should hear our reports and then be able to talk again before we do the whole business. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not. I'm done discussing it. I made my point, thank you.
Number
Okay, do we
6.
want to table this, or do we just want to leave it alone?
I crossed it out. I crossed it out.
There's no motion, so it's dead in the water.
Okay, number 6, discuss procedures on hiring outside facility agencies for testing. I think that before we hire someone else, that commissioners need to check with the office to see what the regular procedure is.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you hiring an engineer to come in here when the health department automatically does it in May.
First of all, I didn't hire an engineer.
You had paid.
I didn't pay an engineer a dime yet. I've not paid an engineer a dime yet.
Maybe not, that might not be the right word. She's talking about the $176.
Oh, for the water testing?
Yeah, that's what she's talking about.
And as a lake commissioner, I'm not allowed to do water testing?
Well, you need to check with the office because we have a regular testing and we would not have had to pay someone to do it.
Not for the testing that I'm having done to the lake. It's not a free test.
From the health department, I understand it is. They do it every year.
Alana, we've already talked about the water testing and that the Department of Health does. And I've already explained several times how that happened and why that happened. But regardless, I would have, as lake commissioner, I was told that my responsibility is the maintenance and taking care of the lakes. And if I ask to have water testing done, you have to pay for those things. And I was told when I became a commissioner that I'm allowed to spend my budget. If it's under $500, I don't have to ask for any approval or authority or a vote on that. And if, as a lake commissioner, I think I have the authority to request and pay for water testing out of my budget.
Well,
Is there a procedure? And if there was a procedure that I should have followed, then I should have been privy to that when I became a commissioner. There should be a handbook or something that you guys hand me and say, hey, this is what you do, this is how you do it, okay? And that hasn't happened, so.
well, I mean, you could have asked, what do I need to do?
Do you ask me about what you're going to do with the volunteer fire department? You don't. So why would I
Because
ask?
I'm the commissioner over it.
And I'm the commissioner over the lake.
Okay, but there is a procedure that we've gone through all years where we would not have taken out of our budget and would have gotten it done free.
No, you would not have gotten these tests done for free.
Yes, ma'am.
No, Lana. The health department does not do the tests that I paid for out of my lake budget. I have an additional whole entire array of testing being done in Fayetteville that were paid for out of my lake budget.
So what showed up in your report, the E. coli?
Yes, that was the first test result that I
Okay,
got
that
back.
was the health department would do that in May.
That's correct, they will.
Okay. But you went ahead and did it.
I have the authority to do it.
Well, like I said, being a new commissioner, you should check the routine steps for things.
Because that's worked so well for the last 30 years,
Well,
Because
right?
there's like that monthly one that kind of shows what happens. What's that monthly that tells you each month what happens in that month
Where is that?
in your red book, in your red folder?
Okay. Right, that's why I knew that I had to put on here that I had to ask for permission to open the lake.
We do that.
Yeah, that's
Right,
part of
so-
that.
Right, I understand, so that's done in April, so that's why it was on the agenda. But there's no, as lake commissioner, I want to have the water tested, and I have money in my budget to test it. I have the authority to test the water in the lake with the money that's in my lake budget.
That's true, but I think Lana's just saying that instead of spending the money when we already have testing and they know.
Excuse me, you're not a commissioner.
But I am a property owner and I can say my
You can't
thoughts.
gavel Katie and not gavel Susie. They're here in the same.
Susie was already talking.
Yeah,
We don't
I mean,
talk
I'm
over each
allowed to say
You're
stuff.
talking for her.
No, I said,
You said, I think what Lana is trying to say,
uh-huh,
that's talking for her.
right.
She's our commissioner.
Okay, so Katie, I'm talking for her. So I think
Are you
what
a
Lana is
commissioner?
trying to say is that you use the money and you probably didn't need to because we already have.
It does not matter if you or Lana or Marcia or Della or anybody thinks it's something I needed to spend the money on. As the lake commissioner with a budget appointed to me for lakes, I can choose to spend that money however I feel is the most important way to spend it on the lake. And I believe that water testing, which has not been done here for years and years and years and years, for the things that I am having tested,
It's tested every year.
it is not tested every year, Susie. If you do not know what you're speaking of, I would prefer that you keep your mouth closed.
No, I don't have to. I'm a property owner and I can say
And you're out of
what I
line right
want.
now.
I don't care.
You are out of line.
That's enough. The water is tested every year 3 times, so you can't say it's not tested. We have reports on it.
Right.
That is for one test. What I paid for is numerous tests. I don't know how hard this is to understand, okay? I did an entire environmental panel of testing on Spring Lake and on Lake Vagabond. I do not have all of those results back yet. That is what the money was spent on, and I have every authority to spend it on that. My procedure is not to come to the office and ask permission every time I want to do something. That's not my procedure.
Okay.
I mean, Della, are you gonna like go to the office every time that you want to like fill in a
I
form?
was just gonna say, I feel that if someone feels the need to have other tests done, it's in your budget, let her do it.
Okay, the one that,
We
be
just
clear,
didn't do that.
excuse me, the one that was, the report that was sent out. Okay, then the health department sent it back and said that it wasn't high enough to keep people from swimming.
You can swim out there if you
All
want.
right, what's your point?
The point is, that test is done in May and 2 other times in the year.
Did you pay any attention to what I said earlier?
Oh, jeez.
I
Here we
don't
go.
think you did because I explained exactly why they did the bacterial test first. It was because I had not sent them enough water to complete the other tests I had requested. I didn't even ask them to do a bacterial test at the beginning. Okay? So, thanks for letting me know what the procedures are. I'll make sure I look in my red book and see what else I need to follow. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, do we have a financial report?
Expenses and
Chris Ellen, do you want to read the financial report?
we don't have a financial report, we have a list of money available. We didn't do expenses and income, even though that was requested and agreed to in February. In the April 18th financial report, Ozark Acres general account balance $105,432.63. Money market account balance $64,529.79. Volunteer fire department in-press account balance $500. Account 833 account balance $9,368.61. Volunteer fire department petty cash account balance $8,403.65. Special business account balance $18.86. So that makes it crystal clear to everyone how we spent our money this month, right?
No, but it tells how much we have in the bank that we can spend on, so, okay? Now, the office report. Bill, if you want to read the office report.
Okay, the office reports, accounts payable, payroll, accounts receivable, create monthly maintenance report, create monthly office report, prepare reports for monthly SID commissioner meeting, 2 meetings, printed deeds off for Sharp County stick drives, data entry of assessments, receipts received from the county, emails, phone calls, clean office, food pantry, sorting, entering, printing, and copying, mailing, and filing office duties. Front counter, property owners cards, boat stickers, clubhouse, new property owner packets, revive and update. Marcia helps with accounting functions via phone calls.
So, like the beach report.
All right. A little bit more about the cleanup this Saturday. To be quite honest, we're, like I said, it's kind of we're in a punt situation. So when you come at 8 o'clock, we'll give you your supplies. You're welcome to bring the garbage back here. You're welcome to, we'll have more information on that if you show up at 8 o'clock on Saturday. We are going to be doing you can be involved in a prayer group. You can be involved in, like I said, the kids' activities. And then at 11:30 or 11 o'clock, I believe, we said we're going to be doing hot dogs for everyone. So that's Saturday from 8 till noon here at the clubhouse. Plumber's coming next week for vandalism damage in the men's room at the beach. Picnic tables are all located at the beach right now. When I had that brilliant idea to try and protect our picnic tables by putting them all underneath the pavilion, we had 2 maintenance guys and like a truck that had real tires on it and a trailer that they could all go on. And now we don't have any of those things. So if there is anyone that would be willing to help me redistribute picnic tables to the parks throughout the acres, that would be very, very helpful. Same thing with mowing and weed whacking of the park areas. Obviously, we don't have a maintenance due, and Della's going to give you a little more information about our mower in a minute, I'm thinking. If anyone has a lawn service that they use in the acres, please give me their contact information, because I would love for them to have the opportunity to maintain some of our parks for free advertising or for something I can come up with. So if you do have a lawn service coming out here, please drop me that information. I'd really appreciate it. The lakes. The engineer has been in contact with Arkansas Natural Resources Commission to get a list of exactly what reports need to be updated and submitted in order for us to correctly and legally update our emergency action plans and receive our dam permits this year. They have said, like I've told you before, they've said in no uncertain terms that they're not happy with our EAPs, and so we need to upgrade those or update those properly, which will require updated engineering design or engineering reports. And so in order to save us as much money as possible, he has set up a meeting with Ryan Benefield at ANRC, and they will sit down and he will look over what we have right now in our EAPs and exactly what we have to have going forward in our EAPs. When the engineer knows what reports he has to work up and submit, he will then get back with me and tell me how much that's going to cost us. At this point in time, the work that he has done for me so far has been pro bono. We do need repairs on Lake Agawam Spillway. We have water runoff in way the wrong direction. We're going to need some extensive dirt work to keep that from happening, but that's something I don't want to do prior to engineering reports and all of that, because I don't want to make something worse or cause us to spend more money to undo something if I do it right now. So until we get all those reports back and we have a clear vision of where we have to go with it, I'm not going to be doing any work, but I am aware that we will need to have some extensive dirt work done at the spillway. It's undercutting the concrete that we poured, and that's a problem. Also, Title VII, the dam owner's guide for the state, requires us to be releasing water at all times from our lake. That was updated in 2020, and we have not responded correctly to that. We are not allowed to hold water from downstream, completely hold water from downstream. The engineer, one of the reports that he's required to look at is how much water we should be leaving, how far the valve should be open at all times to allow downstream residents to have water at all times. It all depends on a flow rate, it all depends on how much our lake is full, it depends on all kinds of things, and that's why we have to hire an engineer to do it again. As soon as we know what that is, we'll take the proper steps, and we will be leaving that valve open at all times for downstream riparian protection. Volunteer fire department hasn't been able to burn off the dams yet. We're still hoping that that can happen soon before everything is completely 100% green. The culvert and drain into Spring Lake is badly damaged and has caused extensive road damage. I'm concerned enough that I've literally talked to my neighbor and asked him if we can move our garbage cans. Can we all get together, put the garbage cans at the corner or something, because the garbage trucks coming over that culvert are scary. Della and Scott have come out, they have looked at it, they've seen how badly the road has been damaged by that culvert. So we're all aware, it's just going to be a matter of trying to figure out how to fix it. And the grass park sign was posted on Lake Agawam as per Ms. Long's request at the last meeting. We did have someone throwing the grass park out on the beach or up on the bank. Again, they're expensive. Don't do that. There's no need. I mean, really, just put them back in the lake, okay? It was a really big one, so he was not as good for the lake as the smaller ones, but he's not hurting the lake in any way, shape, or form. They're not a garbage fish here. They've been paid for. They have a job to do. So if you do happen to catch one, please put it back in the lake. And there ends my report.
Tom, let me ask you, what size is the pipe that's supposed to stay open? Valve, is it 2 inches?
About the size of a pipe for something.
Is it 2 or 4?
Drainage pipe is a 2-inch pipe.
And that is to stay open all times?
Yes, for the lawsuit down at the water well.
And you just said that that's supposed to stay open at all times? And is it?
Yeah. That's a fixed, if I remember right, it's a fixed pipe that's in there, not the valve. It's a separate pipe, isn't it?
Yeah, the pipe is in there and it cuts into, and it goes in behind the valve.
Awesome.
Okay, clubhouse,
Who is our clubhouse?
well, I guess I'm gonna have to do it. The only thing I know of is just the ladies' Tuesday taco. Has anybody rented this month?
No, not this month. Mm-mm. Well, we had a gentleman that had a 3-day men's retreat. It was March into April 1st, you know, we have that happen. But the next one will be in May.
But you're having this Saturday, this. And maintenance?
Okay, on maintenance roads together. Everyone's concern is the roads. They're full of potholes, there's all kinds of stuff going on. The water's overflowing. What happened is that culverts, that's when Priscilla was just talking about, that the water has went over the road, destroying the road, while the culvert's huge underneath there, and it was completely impacted. I mean, packed. You could not get any water or anything through there, which is just eating up the road. So we went down there, we completely dug the whole culvert out. And got that, and we've done a lot of culverts. Everywhere we see that the water is just going over, the one over there on Tipperary, on Orchard, there's going through, just doing culvert after culvert after culvert. They're just filled. They're filled. Just scraping leaves away isn't going to do it. You have to actually get down there and dig. If we're going to fix the roads, we have to do that. So that's what we've been doing. However, we can't just hop in a truck and just throw the shovels in the back of it, because the trucks, first of all, you have to find the shovels, you know, which is, anybody can come look at all these. Here's the backs of our trucks, what they're looking like, full of oil. There's our tow ropes rotting away. Here's our tires on the trucks.
Can't see from here.
That's what our tires look like. We're trying to get them, you know, things like that going. The backhoe has 2 flat tires. The roller, this is the roller with, that's a hole where the battery should be. So our rescue boat, this is the motor without any carburetor. So it's nothing you can do. You can just go do it. There's nothing running. The tractor has everything has a flat tire. Road grader leaks like a sieve. So just trying to go through and fix all of those things that are just, I mean, you can't even, first have to find the stuff, you know, then parts are missing and everything's gone, and so, but we are trying. We're clearing culverts, we've got things set up, we wanted to get onto the roads, but now we have to go through and get the roller going, get the backhoe going, and get, you know, just.
The mower.
The grader is leaking.
Like I said, yes.
So the 10 grand that we spent on grader repairs didn't repair?
Obviously not.
I've got a local contact.
Obviously not. I think there's just enough on this grader.
At 7:15, we need to make a motion to extend the meeting to what time?
What's left? Just a few things, so. Stella, choose a time, Bill.
You can make a motion. Yes, you can.
Okay, I'll make a motion to go to 7:30.
I second it.
Okay. So as we're cleaning out the culverts, they're full of leaves. So, you know, you have to, in the trash, all the trash has been dumped in there. So we have to remove bags of trash to get to the culverts, to do all of this work. And I know that there's holes everywhere. And I know that, you know, everyone has holes everywhere. But we're trying. I went today and we got the battery for the roller just so we can start the roller, just to see if it works, because there's nothing that doesn't leak. There's puddles under everything. There's all the tires are flat. I mean, we're actually hand doing a lot of this stuff just to try to get things done. So
I wondered why they always said every single month to check the oil, like the vehicles.
Well, and then we have to try to find, you know, the tools. You know, we've got drills with no chargers. We've got, just things that are just not there. We've got paint box, first paint spray guns, boxes, but no paint spray gun. I'm finding screwdrivers and bushes, and so I am trying to gather everything together, and and in between that, digging out culverts, and it's just there's so much. It's there's not a single thing you can just jump in and just go. And like I said, there's pictures there, because pictures say a lot. you know. And like I said, so if anybody, if we have some kind of emergency and you have to help someone on the other side of the lake, please do, because the motor doesn't even have, the boat motor doesn't even have a carburetor in it.
Who's in charge of the volunteer fire department? Are they required for like a certain amount of time per month on hose, the truck testing, or
They
to get
test,
accredited or?
yeah, they test when they meet, they're meeting once a month now. And I talked to Dylan a while ago, and I told him I would give you his number, and he said, yes, they can come. He'll let them know what culverts to do.
They can hose them out and get them opened up,
Yeah.
and then the stuff can maybe
Well,
dry and
you know,
revert or something.
And more importantly is to do controlled burning. If they can do controlled burning and burn off all those leaves, because they have impacted, that's what has impacted the culvert so much that you can't even get anything through them. But then I have to rake out all the leaves just to get to the culvert that you have to dig out. But if those leaves were burnt out, we would never, this problem wouldn't even happen. You don't have the leaves there, you're not going to get the impacted culverts, and it's a win-win. And our rates go down for our home insurance, because they have the training. So. And anybody that has ideas on how to get any things done besides planting inside the holes, I'm really willing to listen to them, you know. But yes, but we are planning on fixing these roads, and we're trying to get that done. We've got things set up, but we just don't have the equipment now that's running. So that's what we're doing.
What happened to our equipment? What happened?
I don't know. I came there, and like I said, we've got rescue boats without carburetors, we've got rollers without batteries, we've got trucks with just for tires. I have no idea. This is the back of our pickup truck. This is how we kept it. So to find a tool or anything, we found that in grease and oil and drying our tow ropes away and stuff. This is what I walked into.
When I became lake commissioner, I checked about the boat, I asked about the boat. Dylan said it didn't have a carburetor. He said the carburetor was in the shop somewhere. Gary and his friend were going to fix the boat motor. They had experience doing that. It was, if you find the carburetor, let us know. Yeah, no carburetor.
Okay, so I've been cleaning the shop, trying to get the garbage and stuff out of there, because everything's piled on top of everything. They actually thought I moved the backhoe in the shop, but I didn't move the backhoe. All I did was take out the trash, because there's so much room around it. That's, you know, they said, but how did I didn't move it. I just removed the garbage.
Quick question on volunteering for helping with the parks. Is there a plan for that?
That would be Priscilla's.
Mowing maintenance? It's under maintenance, isn't it?
Yes, mowing.
Yeah.
We're trying to actually get the mower. The mower sounds like it's eating chains. I mean, there's nothing that you just go and get it.
There's nothing that's been maintained. Nothing's been maintained by maintenance.
It has not only that, it has a flat tire.
She'll have to
everything.
fix
So I'm
everything
trying
before
to
she can go.
not spend money except for to do the roads, but I can't because you have to get tires, you have to find this, you have to get that. And by the way, the speed bumps were paid for a long time ago before I came in, so everyone that's complaining about speed bumps, and nobody knows, where the speed bumps go better than the people that live there, that they're needed, and the only thing they're gonna do is save lives, so the speed bumps are already paid for, and they were approved, and that's why they went up. It's not like the roads are being ignored to put up speed bumps, that wasn't the case.
The other one's all set to go in, just need somebody to do it, obviously, I can't do it now. But you need to put the sign up and just, I'll drill out the holes, I'll put concrete in there, because last year when they went in, there was nothing but dirt that was trying to hold them, so I bored out a hole, filled them with concrete, even mixed nylon in with concrete. I just need somebody to go and drill them and mount them. I got the bolts, I got everything, that's out of my own pocket for anybody who wants to do it.
Thank you.
But with what's going on with
Thank you,
that,
you're
I
right.
can't do that.
Yeah. thank you.
The signs, you need to put the signs up first.
Yeah, I found the signs, yes, we are finding signs all over, and we're trying to gathering them and putting them in
I'm kind of
an
surprised,
area for signs.
kind of surprised that kid that wanted that speed bump in hasn't come in, volunteered to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I did it, if you notice where I put it where that one old gentleman doesn't have to deal with it, but yet it'll slow it down before it gets to that kid's house. And still have enough distance in between the stop sign and there, so all you gotta do is look for the 5 or 6 holes per speed bump.
Okay.
I got prepped for it.
all right, thank you. Yeah, we've had some great help, we've had people, you know, I've been out there digging in ditches and we've had people come and help even do it. And we had a tree down over here and Martin Creek, one of his
Firefighter.
their firefighters came and